Okay, okay. This was. I think we got him dialed in. Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
Yo, yo, yo, yo. Yeah, yeah. He's dialed in.
yes, sir.
Oh man, that's right, y'all. You're tuning in to Where's My Damn Podcast. Just want to thank everyone that's tuning in, listening, wherever you're at. Um, and yeah, I just want to also shout out uh, my only sponsor, my one and only, the Anchor app. So, yo, download that free app and get your podcast going, y'all. So that's what it is. Yeah, man. I got a very special guest on the line. Man, this should be fun. Man, I'm honored to have him on, and this, yeah, let's get into it. Um, yeah, like I said, where's my damn podcast? And I'd like to welcome everyone to the show. CJ Scratch.
Yo, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing out there?
Good, good, good. First and foremost, man. Yeah, happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah. Thank you, man. Same to you, bro. Yeah, man. Thank you. Is it cold enough out there?
You know what, man? It's actually not too bad right now. We really haven't gotten too much snow where I live. I live in like southern Colorado, so
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been too cold.
Yeah.
Like 60s, lower 60s, so not too bad.
Yeah.
Usually the colder part of the year for us is usually like January, February, March. That's when we get a little colder, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, but not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up, man. Well, man, thank you for being on the show, man. This is pretty cool. Like I've watched you watch all your videos. We're gonna definitely get into it. So I kind of follow you. Not in a stalking way, but I enjoy all your videos.
I
You're a
appreciate it.
you're a dope scratcher. I'm also a big fan of scratching and DJing and all
Nice,
that. So I'm very familiar with you. So you know,
awesome.
so yeah, we're gonna get into it. Uh, before that, let's talk about your background as far as how you got into DJing and who influenced you.
Okay. So I was born in 1979. So um, I kind of came up with hip hop, man. You know what I mean? I started I started breaking probably back in 1984, 85
Mm,
is when I started when I started breaking and stuff, and just from listening to the music, um, I just I heard scratching and I was like, man, even as a kid, I was like, man, I really like that. I like that sound, man. It's cool. I was like, one of these days, one of these days, I'm gonna get some turntables and I'm gonna be a DJ. So
yeah.
it took a long time for me to be able to do it. But all that time growing up, man, I was always searching for music that had scratching in it. So no matter what song it was, whatever hip hop song it was growing up, I always listened for the scratching.
Yeah.
And so like back in the day, of course, there's like Jam Master Jay and then all those guys back then.
Hmm.
Chris the Glove Taylor. I mean, one of my favorite tracks when I was little, when I was breaking and stuff, was by Ice T, and it was about Chris the Glove Taylor from like the Breakin' soundtrack, Breakin' to
Reckless, was
so
that Reckless?
Reckless, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was listening to that, and then like I said, man, whatever song, I never listened to the rap. I never listened. I was just listening for the scratching,
Yeah.
and like I remember one of my favorite songs growing up that came out was the Devil Went Up to Michigan, and I think that was by the KMC crew,
Hmm.
but it was basically like uh, kind of a twist on the devil went down to Georgia, you know, but it was like the devil went up to Michigan, and it was like the devil was a DJ,
Mm.
and then there was another DJ, and they battled for gold turntables, and that one really got me. Like just the scratching on that one. I mean, even till today, you know, when I listen to it, I'm like, oh man, these guys are killing it back then, you know. But yeah, I finally got my first set of turntables right after I graduated high school. I used my graduation money to get my first setup of turntables, and you know, I was so naive to the scene. Like I didn't know there was a difference between like I didn't know there was a direct drive turntable and a belt drive turntable.
Oh yeah,
I got
yeah.
one of those. Yeah, I got one of those Newmark DJ in a box things. You know, it was like $500, man. I was like, yeah, I finally got my turntables and my
Yeah.
mixer. You know, it was a garbage setup. You know, but it introduced me to DJing. You know, so I finally got to. I had the turntables, I had the mixer. You know, and then as time went on, I started to learn like, oh, okay, well, there's these Techniques turntables or direct drives. I was like, oh man, the first time I touched one of those, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. I was like,
Yeah, and
all
like
right.
you can tell, like it felt official. Like
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I think I had DJ'd on those Newmark turntables probably for about maybe 2 years, and then one of my buddies that I linked up with, he had one Technique turntable, and I was like, all right, well we'll use that one to scratch on, and then we'll use my Newmark turntable to just to run the beat, you know. So
hmm
that's how we were mixing and scratching on that, and then um, later on down the line, I started learning about real scratch mixers, you know, because I started out with it was like a Newmark Blue Dog mixer. It was garbage, and then I and then I moved on. I got like a Gemini Scratch Master, which was completely false advertising. You ain't scratching nothing on that mixer.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
I had one too.
yeah, yeah, you know, and I had one of those, um, and then I finally upgraded. I got me a Techniques mixer because I started finding all these DMC battle videos from like back in the day. One of my buddies that somehow he ended up being in my town. He was from New York. I don't even know how he ended up coming to the town I was in because it's such a small town. He's like, yeah, I got
Yeah.
all these DMCs on VHS. I was like, dude, give me that VHS. I need to dub it. You know, so I had all that, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna compete in these DMCs, so I need the Techniques mixer.
Yeah.
So I bought that mixer. I used that for probably about a month, man, and I went through both of the crossfaders, like both of them. I just in a month's time, I was like, man, this mixer's garbage. I was like, this
Was that because they had a couple versions of those, right?
right. So it was the SH 1200. So
hmm
it was the one with the regular analog fader. Like later on down the line, you know, they did the DX, and then they did the EX, which had the optical fader in it. And I still want to get my hands on one of those just to have it. But
So
yeah,
which one had the extra fader? There was an
so
extra fader, right?
yeah, so they all did actually.
Oh, okay, okay.
The SH DJ 1200, the DX, and the EX all had an extra fader in it.
Ah,
But
okay.
the EX had the optical fader because around that time, that's when the optical faders started coming out, the non-contact faders.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but the mixer that I really started like my scratch skills really started getting like next level was the Vestex '06 Pro.
Yeah.
One of my buddies actually bought one of those, and we went bananas on that mixer, man. When we touched that mixer, it was like, okay, this fader is legit compared to
Yeah.
the other stuff. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of like a small introduction of how I got into DJing. You know, I didn't know nothing about mixing. You know, all I wanted to do was scratch.
Yeah.
But my buddy that I met, and in fact I met him at a little club here in town that it's not even around anymore. But I was breaking at the time, and he was like, "Yo, man, I like the way you dance," and he was DJing at that club, and he's like, "Oh, well, I mix music." I was like, "That's cool. You're a DJ." I was like, "Oh, I'm a DJ too." So that's how we kind of linked up, and then he's the one that actually showed me how to mix. Well, I was just busy scratching, man. I was just trying to scratch. I didn't care about mixing at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, from there, I finally started. Like I got I finally saved up money, got some techniques, got some used techniques turntables. I went into this used record store, and I seen this Techniques 1200 just sitting on a stack of records, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the owner, I walked up to the owner. I was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing with that turntable? It was missing a foot, but it was in good shape." And he's like, "Nothing, man. I ain't doing nothing with it." I was like, "Oh, really? I'll give you $50 for it." And he's like, "Sure, I'll take it." I gave him the $50 and I ran out the store, bro, because I was like, I don't want him to know how much this thing is worth. So, yeah, then I finally got that, man, and then that's kind of how I started getting more and more into scratching and stuff like that. So, but
No,
yeah, it's dude. I've been doing it since '98, and I still love it just as much as I did when I first started doing it.
no, that's what's up. That's an awesome story right there.
Yeah.
It's good to hear like everyone's um how they got started and their humble beginnings
Yeah.
as the DJ and stuff. Um, yeah, man. Uh, so like, are you originally from Colorado or were
Yes.
you? Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was born in Colorado. I mean, I've lived in other states, but somehow I always managed to come back to Colorado. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I got family here, but yeah. No, I'm born here, and yeah, I'm still here.
There, there you go. So like fast forward. I mean, we'll just jump around here.
Sure. Sure.
No structure or anything.
Right.
We try to be structured, but it goes off the rails sometimes.
Hey, man, that's all right, man. This was kind of like spur of the moment. So
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
yeah. Um, so when did you like eventually like like honed in your skills? Like when did you actually like, oh, okay, like I can actually really do this, or.
I think I linked up with two other guys. Like I said, my buddy DJ Mastermind, and then my other buddy DJ Squared. We all linked up together. We all moved into this little tiny apartment, and I mean, I think I was 19, and my other two buddies, they were like 18 years old, and we lived in this like little 2-bedroom apartment, and we had the setup in the front room, and then we had another setup in the back room, and it was just nothing but DJing 24/7, man. That was all we were doing, just practicing, and yeah, I think like I really started like really getting good. Like I said, probably within about maybe, well, getting better,
Hmm.
maybe 2.5, 3 years into it. That's when I was like, okay, I'm starting to get these scratches down, and then I started learning about the crab scratches and the flare scratches, and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say probably about 2.5, 3 years in, I was like, okay, now it's really starting to come into play, and I was really more focused on the mixing more, and then of course with the DMCs and stuff like that, I was really concentrating on, oh, I want to be a battle DJ. This is it. This is what I want to do. And I was both of my other buddies were really more into mixing house music and
Yeah.
and electronic music and stuff. And I was like, every time I got a chance, man, I would force them to watch DMC videos with me, just so I could get them to start scratching with me, to practice with me. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, that's so, like I said, man, probably about 2.5, 3 years is when I really started to see my skills starting to develop more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's what's up. Cause yeah, and this you people got to remember like this is around the time where no social media,
Yeah.
um,
The internet. I mean, the internet was
internet.
so new. I mean, it was
Yes,
so
so
new.
new, still new, and depending, I think I still had dial up. I think at
Yep.
that
Yep. Me
time.
too. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. They don't. These new kids don't know the struggle of dial up, man.
Hell no, man.
Yeah.
um, Yeah, no, we me and my boys because I'm in California.
Oh,
I'm
nice,
out here in Stockton,
dude. That's
so
that's
you
that's where I
know,
want to. That's where I want to move to, man. I love California. I love it out there.
yeah, yeah, and you know we're right there next to the Bay Area. I
Yep,
mean, it's just like an hour 20 minutes drive, and
gotcha.
about 45 minutes to Sacramento. So
Nice, lucky.
so yeah, man, we were in the midst of it all, you know,
Yeah.
just in the middle of everything. But yeah, no, we were kind of the me and my homies, we were kind of in the same I guess situation. You know, we gone through that phase of, you know, like, oh, you got a couple homies that scratch, and then you got a couple homies that only mixes, and then you're doing house, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, let's do this, you know, let's do these battles,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So yeah, man, it was definitely fun times. So uh, did you end up doing the DMCs
Yes.
eventually?
Yes. I've competed. God, man. I've competed in I think 12 DMC battles.
Mm,
Um, so I think my first DMC battle was in 2004, and
okay.
yeah, and then I've just competed on and competed on and off since then. I did 2004, 2005, and then I took a super long break, man. After that,
Yeah.
from battling, I wanted to focus more on just getting better, and then I was trying to make an album at the time, and that kind
Right.
of
Right.
fell through. And then I got back into it back in 2011. So since 2011, I've been battling in the DMCs here in Colorado, in Denver. Couple of years back, I did one in Denver, and then I actually drove out to California to compete in that one.
Oh, where at? Which region
I
was that?
think it was Fremont. It was in Fremont, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that year I placed top six in California, which was cool. And
Hmm.
then that same year I got I placed fourth in Denver, and
Hmm.
then last year 2019. I think it was 2019. Yeah, 2019.
Hmm.
Last year I placed fourth again in Denver. So I'm always like, whenever I battle,
Kind of
man,
right
I'm
there,
always just
almost.
like right there. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
break that top three. Like that there's just that little that wall right there for me, man.
Yeah.
So but I mean it's fun, man. I love doing it. I just do it because like I mean that's what I grew up on. You know, I grew up on, for me, in hip hop, it was all about battling, man. I mean, from
Yeah.
you know, from b-boying to DJing to MCing, which I don't MC at all, but I'm terrible. I can't rap. You know, I mean, but that's just like that's like the meat and potatoes of hip hop is
Yeah. The
battling, bro. It's
essence.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, man.
That.
So you
Yeah.
know, I love doing it. You know, I represent. I'm part of two crews out here, but I'm part of the Crunk Brothers crew, and that's a
Hmm.
pretty big crew out here in Denver, Colorado. And then I'm also part of another crew out in Denver, the Colorado Cut Committee. But
Hmm.
yeah, those are the two crews that I really represent for Crunk Brothers for sure. And we've had a couple of our guys in the Crunk Brothers have competed in the DMCs. One of the guys, he's actually won a couple of regionals back in the day, and that's my boy Cisco Rockwell. He's won a couple of
You know
regionals.
what, Cisco
Yep,
Rockwell? Yeah, I think he came out to
yep.
California for, it had to be, actually it wasn't even a D I think I seen him in a DMC,
Mm-hmm.
but I think another one too might have been like a spin-off,
Oh, okay.
Guitar
Yeah,
Center.
probably.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
competed
So
in that too.
yeah,
Here
yeah.
in town, yeah.
No, man, I was actually talking to one of my homies, and Guitar Center was those spin-off battles were pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they were
It was
legit,
kind of
man.
sad.
Yeah,
It was kind of sad they had to let it go and
yeah.
stuff, but they were pretty interesting.
I definitely miss those battles too, man. So I mean, like I said, man, I've been in mainly DMCs. I've been in a couple local battles.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've won one battle I've ever been in. I mean, but
Oh, so, yeah, yeah. Same
you
here
know what
too.
I mean. But like, I mean, to me that's it's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal if I win or I lose. I just want to represent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just be out there and just put it out there for people to watch. I mean, just getting
Yeah.
the respect from the crowd. That's all that really matters to me. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. From the
yep,
crowd, from your
from the peers.
peers.
Yeah, I mean,
That.
just having
Yeah.
fun, bro. I mean, that's what it's about. It's you're supposed to be having fun. You know, don't take it too serious.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about fun. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. It's all about the grind and yeah. Battling. I mean, I love battling too, man. It's kind of like you said, it's a hip hop
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's the
Yep.
essence. Yeah. I was brought up the same way as well, and I still love it to till this day. It's
Yeah,
dope.
for sure.
Um, you know what? You touched on the 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 Denver
Yep.
DMC. Um, I, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's been a couple of years now. Now they've done the regionals over the years,
Correct.
but I believe was that the first time in 2018 that they actually had the U.S. final?
Yes. Yes, that was.
It,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
So it
cool,
was.
cool. Two, 18 and 19, right?
Yep.
They went back to back.
Yep. And in was it 19? That's when. Yeah. So that's when Cisco won. Cisco won the Denver regional that year,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I that's when I placed fourth. I was like, damn. But and the funny thing is, that was before I was actually even down with the Crunk brothers. Like, they put me on. They put me on that year, but I had known about
Yeah.
the Crunk brothers from way back when. You know, when I was first battling, like in 2004, I knew about the Crunk brothers. I was like, man, these dudes are dope. You know, I was like, man.
Okay.
But
Who's in the crew? The
oh
Crunk
man,
brothers, right there.
there's so many. There's so many, man. Like, we got DJ Tense, we got Function, we got Cisco Rockwell. We
hmm
have God, dude. I mean, I'm probably gonna forget a few because you're putting me on the spot.
No, I know, no, it's all good. They're
Oh,
gonna hear it,
they're
probably
gonna
hear
hate
it.
me, man. They're gonna
They're
be
gonna
like,
like,
you
oh,
know
you
what?
didn't show
You're
me
supposed
out.
to represent, man. How you not know all, you know? But yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, no, it's all good.
but nah, man. I mean, there's a few guys. One of our guys, B Money, he passed away in 2019, I believe. So
hmm
that was kind of I think it was late 2018, early 2019 is when B Money passed, sadly. But that was that was the same year that I got put onto the Crunk Brothers, when he had passed away. So
hmm
yeah. Rest in peace to B Money for sure. Yeah,
R.I.P. R.I.P.
but
Yeah.
yeah, man. No, like I said, yeah, we've competed a few times. A couple of the guys in the Colorado Cut Committee have competed in the DMCs as well. So you know, DJ
Yeah.
Stretch has competed. Briscoe Jones has competed. So we've had a few guys from Cut Committee as well compete. But yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
fun. I
That's
mean,
what's up.
shout out DMC, shout out Christy Z, shout out Kyle over at Mile High DJ Supply for keeping those DMCs going, man. So you know, we
Yeah.
us battle DJs need something. We need something to do. So and then
Yeah.
shout out
Hell
to
yeah.
DMC for keeping it going, even you know this year with the online stuff.
The whole
And
COVID.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. The
yeah,
online. Yeah. So like um, what was that like? Because I mean, to have DMC out there, U.S. final is a big
yeah,
stage. I mean, normally, it's out in either the Bay Area, New
yeah.
York, DC. I mean, what was the whole vibe and the whole energy like when they were gonna bring it
Oh,
out
bro,
there?
it was awesome, man. I mean, from what I was told, um, more tickets had been sold for the DMC in Denver than any other state that it's been in. So
Mm.
it was huge, man. Like it's a very well respected art form, you know, in Denver. There's a pretty big hip hop scene in Denver, man. So it was nice. It was nice
Yeah.
to see it. It was awesome to have it there. Um,
I can
yeah, I
imagine.
mean
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like literally the first U.S. finals I ever got to experience. So it was cool, man. It was super cool. And then just meeting all the finalists that got there, and then just being able to hang out with a lot of the guest judges that were there. I mean, it was cool, man. It
Yeah.
was awesome, bro. Like I said, Denver. A lot of people sleep on Colorado, man, but there's a lot of dope hip hop out here. A lot of dope graffiti artists, a lot of dope MCs, and then there's a bunch of sick DJs out here. I mean, not just from northern
Mhm.
Colorado, but I mean even southern Colorado. So there's some
Yeah.
there's some sick DJs out here, man, for sure.
That's what's up. Hey, y'all don't sleep on
Don't sleep on
Colorado.
don't sleep on Colorado, man. I mean, we got one world champion that came out from here, so you know.
Yeah. 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 Shouts out to
Chris
Chris
Carnes.
Carnes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah, and you know what? You mentioned the whole
Yep.
online thing with DMC, and I peeped out your video. I was able to check that out in many of the other
Oh yeah.
entries. What was I know it was different because it was online, but what was that whole situation like?
Honestly, man, it was cool. I mean, you're a lot more you're not nervous because I
Yeah.
mean, for those of y'all who haven't competed in a DMC and been on stage, I do like honestly, I don't care how many times you do it, you're still nervous. Like literally, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I've been in
Yeah.
like 11 or 12 of these things, and regardless of how many times I've done it, man, like I still get nervous on stage. I'm like, oh God, man, here we go. Like, God, why do I do this to myself? But then
Yeah.
when it's done and over with, I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad I did it. But no,
Yeah.
as far as like doing the online thing, it was cool. Like I said, there's way less nerves because you're in your bedroom. You know what I mean? There's nobody
Mm-hmm.
really sitting in front of you that is looking at you. There's no live crowd or nothing like that. So if you screw up, you can just stop and re-record it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when you're on stage, if you screw up, you can't stop. You just got to keep pushing through and do what you got to do. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit different, but I mean, like I said, the still the spirit of the battle is still there. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
still competing to win a competition. So but it is a little different. That as opposed to
Yeah.
competing live. In front of
Live.
in
Yeah.
front of
Live.
judges and a crowd.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to get your take on this because from a obviously from a outside perspective
Yep.
and a fan, we saw somebody familiar this year. Um, that went by uh uh what is that uh
Oh
balloons
yeah. Yeah. I was that.
I'm
Yeah.
butchering the name, but I should know
Who
it.
was that?
But former champion 2004 2005
I
DJ I
emerge. Yep.
emerge. What was your take on that? Like, did that come out? Did that surprise you a little bit?
You know what, man? Like honestly, for me, I'm not super surprised. Although I will say I do love when those OGs come out and compete again, man. I love seeing that. I love seeing that because
Yeah.
this is one of the only like competitions or sports where age don't mean a damn thing, bro. Like it doesn't mean a
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
Like you can I mean look at the youngest guys that are competing now. You know what I mean? Like K Swizz and Rena, and these guys are killing it, bro. Like they're doing stuff and I'm like, how are they
Yeah.
doing that? Like I've been in this game for how long? I can't do that. Like what are they doing nowadays, But I mean it's
Yeah.
just cool to see those guys, It's like to see them vets come back and compete and like, oh man, I love seeing it, bro. I love seeing it because, it's like they still haven't lost that love for the art,
Yeah.
and they still haven't lost that love to
Yeah.
keep um, to keep pushing themselves to get better. You know what I mean? So it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool to see.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I
No.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. 100%. I when I saw it, I was like,
Yeah.
oh snaps! Like, it's gonna be a
Oh yeah,
problem in here.
for sure, man.
Um, you know that first I guess the first submission. I was like, oh damn, this is a little different, but that shit
Yeah,
was pretty hard, and but um, I guess when it came down to what was that, the
yeah,
eliminations or something, um, it was kind of, I don't know, it was a little bit lackluster. I was I was hoping for more, but I mean, shit, like I emerged, man.
oh yeah,
He's a beast. I don't know what happened there or what he was trying to go for, but you know, nonetheless, it was actually kind of cool to see
yeah.
him
To see him,
um on
yeah,
that stage
exactly. To see
again.
him come back, man. I'm like, I mean, it would be like seeing Craze come back and compete again. You know what I mean? Like that would be ridiculous to see that. You know?
Oh man, that I think everyone's heads will
Oh,
explode
dude,
right
yeah,
there.
exactly. If Craze come back, and the crazy thing about it is that dude hasn't stopped. Like he's just gotten better. Like I see
Yeah,
things that Craze does. Like little videos that he puts out, and I'm like, oh yeah, that would have won DMC. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah,
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 you
that
know,
definitely would
you
have
know,
won DMC this year. It's like, oh Christ, man, that dude's just on another level, man. So, like I said, it's cool to see.
y-
It's cool to see them OGs come back, man, and represent. Just it's like it's cool. It's nostalgic for me
yeah.
because I'm like, these are the guys that inspired me to get into it and really try to push myself to get to that level. So I love seeing it, man.
Oh
You
hell
know,
yeah.
um,
Oh
years
hell
ago
yeah.
when Slice got back in it and he competed, and he won the U.S. finals and got to the World Finals. Man, I was like, oh damn, Slice is in this. Like, I was like, oh, I'm so pumped to see this. So yeah, man, I love it, man. Like I said, not only am I a DJ, but I'm a fan of it, man. So I just like to see people compete, man. It's cool.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. Like yeah, when people just come back and start, flexing
Mm-hmm.
their skill and showing the not only the young cats but the rest of their peers as well. But yeah, no, it's like, the quick thing about Craze, man. Like you said, I mean, he's fucking dope, and he
Yeah.
stays current with his
Yep.
style and the sound when he goes out there and makes up
Yeah.
routines and stuff. There's no
Right.
lack. Um, there's no
Right.
lag
Yeah.
with him.
Exactly.
For the lack of
Yeah.
better
He
word, I guess.
he
But
he just he like you said, he stays current, man. Like, yeah, it's not like he
yeah,
rests on his laurels. Like, oh well, I know I can do this. I know I can do this, but like he's still pushing himself to get better. So that's what I'm saying. Like every time
yeah.
I see him put out a video, I'm like, damn man, if he got in DMC, I mean, he'd be a problem. Like right off the bat, it'd be like, oh man,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he'd probably win it.
yeah.
Like yeah, he'd probably win it again.
Oh man, I know. So yeah, let's fast forward. Let's talk about let's talk about the portable
Sure.
scene. Let's talk
Yeah,
about your
yeah.
fader. We'll
Okay.
definitely touch on that. So okay. So enough of the
Yeah,
battle talk,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I love
We-
talking about that stuff.
and man, I'm like,
Yeah,
we're
straight
nerds,
up.
bro. Like, I think we can talk about this
Yeah,
for hours and hours,
for
man.
sure.
But you know what? Okay, a few years ago, it might have been right around what is that?
Yep.
2014, 15. The portabilism scene kind of
Right.
picked up, and for those that don't know, these are like little portable turntables that a lot of DJs that will scratch on and take it
Mm-hmm.
anywhere and everywhere to just to go scratch and not have to kind of sit in
Yeah.
the room or something
Right.
stationary or whatever. So this whole this whole scene kind of just like was wildfire. You know, it kind of just took off, and a lot of people were
Mm-hmm.
doing mods, and you had like portable turntables like the
Yep.
Vestax Handy Tracks, the new Mark PT
Yep.
01, the original, and then they eventually came out with the PT-01
Correct.
Scratch, and and then you got the
Yep.
portable faders as well, and things kind of just started like bubbling, and it kind of built
Yep.
that excitement back again in DJing. When did you caught wind of it, and like what were your thoughts early on with that
So
whole
the
scene?
first time I seen it, I was on the internet and I seen the little portable fader, and it was the Frisk fader from Japan.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. I was like, I wonder what that is, because it was all in Japanese, so I really didn't understand it. But I was like, oh, yeah, okay, it's a little fader that you can practice on, on your keychain. I was like, I used to do that with broken faders. I'd put them on my keychain, and I'd keep it on my keychain and mess around with it when I would, have extra time or whatever, if I was sitting waiting for something.
Yeah.
But then I seen a video, and unfortunately I don't remember who it was, man, and I wish I did. But I seen he had a portable Frisk fader, and he had a Handy Tracks, and he was scratching on it, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I was like, but I really didn't pay much attention to it, because I was like, okay, well, that's cool, but I don't know, man. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I pay no mind
Pay
to it,
no mind
because
kind of
I
thing.
was,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever. Because I mean, let's be honest, man. When these things came out, they weren't meant for what we do with them. But then again, of course, turntables weren't meant for what we do with them either. So, I mean, that's just the spirit, the spirit of hip hop and DJs, man. We just make it work for us. So that was the cool thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if you think about it, these little portable turntables, they're toys. You know what I mean? Like they're not real.
Yeah.
It's not real equipment. It's not real DJ equipment. When they made them, they made
Mm-hmm.
them so that people could listen to records and listen to records to sample. They weren't made for what we've come to know them as. Yeah,
Come
as
to
far
know
as
now. Yeah, yeah.
portableism and portablist and portable scratchers and stuff like that. So when I first started seeing it, the Frisk Fader was the first one I seen. And then Raiden came out with their fader, and I was like, okay, well,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you know what? I think I might get into this. I was like, it looks like by this time I was kind of catching on a little bit more, and one of my buddies actually had a PT-01. Well, he's a producer, so he was using it to sample records, and he was like, hey man, I got this little portable turntable. He goes, do you want it? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. I want to try and mess around with this portable stuff. So I ordered one of the original Raiden faders, which is just a regular analog fader, only cut on one side. And
Yeah.
I was cutting on it, and I was like, all right, this is cool. But by that time I was already modifying and fixing mixers and turntables on my own. Before I even knew about
Okay.
this portable stuff, I was already taking mixers and crossfaders apart and Frankensteining them together, and I made my I
Yeah.
made my first non-contact fader back in like 2004, like late 2003, 2004. And in fact, I mean that fader is still working. I have it in my QFO right now, and I use it when I cut over my
Mm.
QFO. But I I kind of, after I did that, I was like, you know what, man? I was like, these faders are all right, but it's like a regular analog fader. I was like, how come nobody has thought to build these faders on rails? Like a regular crossfader. So
And that
right,
was kind
yeah,
of the
it
issue,
just
right,
didn't
in the beginning.
feel smooth enough for me, for my liking, and I like my faders smooth.
Yeah.
So no sooner than I start thinking about that, I start I bump uh, into this website, and somebody's posting about Jesse Dean. And I was like, Jesse Dean, okay, I wonder
Mm-hmm.
who this guy is. Okay, he modifies turntables and he makes stuff. I was like, oh, he has these little portable faders. I was like, okay, that's cool. So then I started looking into that, and I was like, oh hell, it runs on bars. I was like, hey, that's what I want, you know. So I ordered one of his faders. So
Yeah.
I took it apart, and I was like, oh cool, this is how he made it, you know. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna loop these bars, and I'm gonna do that and this. So I bought that, and I started scratching on that, and I was like, this is dope, man. I was like, okay. And then I started seeing more people modifying their portables, and I was like, ooh, that's what I want to get into. I was like, because I mean, like I said, I had already been modifying stuff myself back in the day, so I was like, yeah, that's right up my alley. So I started modifying more stuff and modifying the platters, and just, you know, everybody started doing more videos, and I was like, ooh, I want to start doing videos and helping people out, you know. So I started doing videos and how-to videos on portableism, as far as modifying portable turntables, because I had already started like doing videos showing people how to clean their faders and stuff on their Vestex mixers and Rain mixers and stuff. I had already been done doing that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and as far as time started going on more and more, you know, I started talking to like these guys that were um, building things like Jesse Dean. Like I started talking to him, and got to be really, you know, really good acquaintances with him. He's a good friend now of mine. Like I can hit him up and, hey, what's up, Jesse? How you doing, man? And you know, so uh, he in fact he actually started sending me product to test for him, and he was like, yeah man, let me know what you think about it, and see how you know, if there's anything I can improve on, and this and that. So I was actually testing out stuff for Jesse, you know, in the beginning. But that's kind of how it sparked for me.
That's
And then
dope.
I, you know, after that, man, I went full 100% into it. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm really gonna start concentrating on now, is portableism. I love it. You know, it's like, it's cool to be able to take the portable out,
Eh,
you know, before COVID, get together with your buddies, and you know, it really, like you said, man, it sparked um another interest, and breathed more life into almost like the DJing culture to me. Like, it was kind of stagnant, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of at a plateau. But when portableism really caught fire, like it really, like it grew again, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's global now, you know what I mean? So it's super cool, and it's cool that everybody can, you know, they're affordable. People can get them, you know. So people that want to just scratch, like, you know, a couple $100, and you're in the game, you know. You can start scratching, you know. So it's cool, man. Like, I'm super pumped about that. Like, more people can get into it, more kids can get into it. I think more kids are um, more inclined to get on a portable, because, like I said, it's a toy. You know, it's more along there. It's like a my size turntable for kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and then it's probably also like
Correct.
less intimidating versus like
Yeah.
a big
Yeah,
turntable.
yeah,
You know
exactly,
what I mean?
exactly.
So
And that was the exact next point I was going to make. You know, it's not intimidating. You know, it's a small little
yeah,
unit, and you know, you're not overwhelmed by, oh man, two turntables and a mixer. Look at all these knobs.
yeah,
Look at all these
yeah,
buttons, and you know, like these new mixers. I mean, they're like computers, man. They got computer
yeah,
screens and all kinds of stuff on them. So yeah, it's a little overwhelming with the new equipment. It's really super simple, you know, with a portable. It's a little piece of vinyl,
and
7-inch
and
vinyl, and a fader, you know what I mean, and a turntable, and you're scratching. So you know, it's cool.
yeah,
It simplified
yep,
it, you know.
yeah, and it not only
Right.
that, it's analog. It kept the original
Exactly.
essence of it as well. Um, so yeah, I just want to echo what you said earlier, because when I caught wind of you, I saw like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you started doing the videos and different tutorials. And actually, I even hit you up on Facebook at times and stuff. And you were so cool about it. You would reply within a matter of time. And so
Yeah.
definitely much respect on that. And but yeah, I saw your you done a bunch of videos on
Mm-hmm.
the different mods and and yeah, I mean, right after that or during that time, it just the scene kept just growing and growing. People doing different mods, and then you can you would always come out with like, okay, you can mod this, you can change the platter, you would
Mm-hmm.
or the tone arm, the
Right.
MP3 decoder or encoder
Yeah. Yeah.
or whichever one it is. But but you did all of that, and that's so cool. To just kind of spread the knowledge and to give other people like tips on how to like mod
Right.
their
Right.
portable turntable. A- and and yeah, and you just kept on doing that, um and then many others
Mm-hmm.
have done the same as well, like everywhere else and stuff. And then eventually you develop your own portable fader, the
Yeah.
124C
Correct.
fader,
Yep.
the pulse fader, right? um so how did that whole thing
So,
came about?
I had just start I wanted to really give something to the community. You know what I mean? Like I really, like I said, I had built my first full crossfader, full size fader back in 2004. By Frankensteining faders together and
Yep.
getting them all together. And I had thought to myself, like, how come nobody's really made a non-contact fader for their portable? I was like, there's got to be a way that you can do it. There's got to be a way. So um,
Hmm.
I started kind of looking into it, and then I hit up a couple of my buddies. One of my buddies that I started DJing with, like my buddy DJ Mastermind, he's an electrical engineer. He went to school for it, So yeah, so I hit him up and I was
Wow.
like, "Hey, man, I got this idea. Like, can you help me out with it? And maybe we can get this going and get some ideas and get a fader going." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll help you out with it. It'd be cool." So I started messing around with it, and before I hit him up, I figured out a way to do it, um, and make it a non-contact fader. Like a magnetic fader, magnetic sensor. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, this can be done. This can be done. So I started doing that, and God, that was like in, I think, late 2017 when I started thinking about it, and then
Hmm.
2018ish, around in there. Um, Kind of fuzzy on that time, because time goes by so fast, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
but it took a while to actually get it right, and but I definitely didn't do it by myself. I'm not gonna take all the credit. I had guys help me out. My boy DJ Mastermind, he helped me out. My buddy Carlos. I'm not gonna take credit for his idea. The MP3 decoder, that was his idea. So I seen that video on YouTube, and I just decided, hey, I want to try that too because it's a cool idea. So I'm not gonna take credit for that one. That was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
his idea. So shout out to
Yeah.
Carlos and Scratch Toys. Yep, yep, yeah,
Scratch toys. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I ended
So
up ordering one too.
shout out to
Yeah.
him for that. He was a big help for me as well, with this whole 124C project. So yeah. So like I said, man, I
That's
didn't
what's
do
up.
it all on my
Yeah.
own, so I won't take all the credit, man, because it was a group it was a group effort to get this, to get this out.
Group effort.
So yeah, definitely, I owe those guys big time for helping me see my vision come to life. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's you just got to put that idea together and have the right people in place to see it to
fruition, exactly.
through
And the other, like
fruition.
the other
Yeah.
cool thing about the portableism that I love about it, man, is that you see so many independent companies coming up from that now. Like it's not just like the
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
companies like yeah, Innofader. Shout out Innofader. I love Innofader. I use Innofader. I love him.
Yeah.
Patrick's he's a good friend
Hell
of mine
yeah.
as well. So shout out Patrick. Shout out Innofader. But yeah, but
Innovator.
Innofader's
Hell
in
yeah.
everything nowadays. But it's cool to see all of these independent companies coming up. So not only is Innofader out there, but you also have like Infinity Platters, Infinity Faders. They're doing their thing, and then you have like Tiny Steppers doing his thing. You got what is it? Jesse Dean, of course, he's like the godfather of the portable stuff. Then
Hmm.
you got me.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of companies out there, man. And sorry for not mentioning the other ones out there, but those are the only ones that really come to mind right off the top of the dome. Scratch Toys is another one. So it's cool to
Yeah.
see all these little independent companies coming up. Because portableism it's so new. It's not owned by anybody yet. Nobody's really dominating it.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
not only is the Newmark out there, now there's the Reloop has their portable out, and now like even Omni they
Right.
have their portable. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, man. I want your take on Omni. I
sure,
really want to go over that real quick. Yeah, no, definitely shout
yeah,
outs to all those company out there. And you know what, like, yeah, Newmark, with the PT0 on Scratch, they were like, yo, let's well, I
yeah,
was obviously I wasn't there in the meetings, but I'm pretty sure they saw something and they were like, yo, let's break this out. Let's come up with the
right,
this this version, because that kind of I guess
yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
maybe sped up the
So
process a little bit, maybe.
yeah, definitely what Newmark seen was like they were like, "Oh man, look at, and that's the cool thing about Newmark. They were like they were paying attention and they were like, "Hey man, look at look what all these
Yeah,
guys are doing to our
yeah.
portable. Um look how they're modifying them. Well, let's put out a portable that already has a little scratch switch on it." So, when I first seen it come out, I was like, "Oh, dope, they put a fader on it." But they really didn't say much about anything until it got released, and then I was like, oh wait, this is a toggle switch. I was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah, it was like a,
yeah. So I
yeah,
was like, wait a
switch
second,
more or
this
less.
is all right, okay. But and I scratched on it for a little while, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's almost like scratching with the line fader. I was like, but there were some scratches that I just
Yeah,
couldn't land on it. um
right. But you know what's so ingenious about that? Even though that was the case, it kind of allowed for other developers or
mhm,
like people like you, like doing
yep,
the developing the faders. It kind of
yeah,
allowed that opening to where, like, boom, you know what? If you don't want
yeah,
this fader,
yeah.
let's swap
So
it out.
yeah, that was kind of what got my juices flowing with designing this pulse fader, because there was already all these faders coming out, but and Jesse had his fader, but for me, I was like, I want to make it easier. I want to make it so that um anybody can install a fader and it'll be a good fader, and they don't have to be a mad scientist to install it, because not everybody wants to take
Yeah.
a portable turntable that they just spent $100+ on and start tearing it apart, to put a crossfader in
Yeah.
it. So I was like, there's got to be a way that I can design a fader that's gonna fit directly where the scratch switch is, but it'll actually be a fader
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it'll just be plug and play, and it'll be super easy to
Plug and
install.
play. Yeah.
So, right,
And that's all we want. That's all we want as a scratch DJ,
yeah,
as a
yeah.
scratch
You want to
enthusiast.
install
That's
it
all
and
we
start
want. Yeah.
cutting. You know what I mean? You don't want to, unless you're a super nerd like me, like really wants to like perform surgery on something, and you actually get something out of it. But
Yeah.
most people don't really want to do that. They don't want to start desoldering and cutting wires and and cutting holes and things of that nature into their portables. So that was one of the other things that kind of inspired me to create the pulse fader, because I wanted to make it as easy as possible for somebody to put a good fader in there, and be able to start cutting on it. So as far as the
Yeah.
development went, I made my first prototype, and I sent a couple of the prototypes out to a few people, like, hey man, try this out, see how you like it, see what see what
Hmm.
see what you don't like about it. Let me know, give me some feedback. And then when I got the feedback
Yeah.
from that, I decided to crash the Nam convention. I was just gonna go there and crash the Nam convention and kind of do it guerrilla style, and just take my portable with the PT-01 scratch, with my first prototype pulse fader. This is before it was even called the pulse fader. It was just my fader. And I
Yeah.
went out there and I went to all the jams and stuff, and I had people scratch on it, man, and I got like overwhelmingly good responses and results, and people were like, yeah, this is what it needs to feel like, and this is the fader that needs to be in this portable right out the box. And I was like, okay, well, now I know I got the go ahead. And it was like, okay, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like,
You
okay,
had
it wasn't
something
just
there. You
me.
got
I'm
something
not the
there.
only one that was searching for a dope, easy fader to install. So I got it in the hands of like the dopest scratch DJs. Like from um, you know, I had like DJ Qbert even mess around on it. You know what I mean? And he, like, I got his input on it, and he
Nice.
was like, dude, this thing is great. And I even got his um I even got him to do like a little shout out for me on a video. And shout out to Qbert and Thud Rumble and all those guys out there. Thanks for keeping me inspired. But yeah, so that's kind of how it came together. So once I got that, hey man, this is something that we can use. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it going. And then it was just full bore, 100%, just get it designed and get it going, man. So yeah, I'm super pumped. Yeah.
There. Yeah, there you go. There it is, man. Yeah. So, like with the fader, you're only
Correct.
able to cut
So
on one side, right?
yeah, so there's two
Is
reasons
that
why I
what it
did
is?
that. One reason is because if I tried to make it cut on both sides, then I wouldn't have been able to make it a direct drop-in fader, because it would have to have been bigger. So then you would have had to
Okay.
install it underneath. You know what I mean? And I wanted my fader to be
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
different from the other faders that were out there. Like all the other faders that are out there.
Yeah.
Jesse Dean's fader's dope. Don't I got one. I got two. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I
the
have one
Raven
too.
fader,
Yeah.
I got it too. Like I said, man, I'm a collector and a customer just like everyone else, man. I'm a nerd, man. I want all the cool equipment. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely wanted to make it as different as possible from the other faders, because it's like, well, if I make it just like the other faders, then why are people going to want to buy mine when they could just buy the other guy's fader? You know what I mean? So I wanted it to be kind of its own
Yeah. Yeah.
thing. So that's why I made it that way. Just so it was different. Um, so yeah, the size was one difference. And then um, talking to DJs,
Hmm.
man, a lot of DJs actually prefer the single side cut. They don't like the double cut.
And yeah, no, I think I know why, because what ends up happening, like when you're scratching, right, you sometime maybe go over far to the left, and then it'll like cut into the sound that you're using,
Yeah, yeah.
or something
So
like
a
that,
lot of the
or no?
time, like a lot of DJs, like I say, when you're in the groove and you're cutting, you get into the habit of throwing the fader all the way over, and it's supposed to cut the sound out, because you just want the music to play. But when you have that double
Yeah,
cut, it cuts the
yeah,
sound back on, so you're like, damn, that screwed up my flow. You know what I mean? So um, that
yeah,
was
yeah,
that was one of the reasons why the DJs were like, yeah, well, I prefer a single cut to a double cut. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some DJs that like that double cut,
yeah. No,
but for me, I like the single side cut,
yeah,
specifically too, because you see a lot of these DJs that have the double cut faders, and then they just go bananas on it, and then they do that double cut scratch. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, come on, man, like that, come
yeah.
on. Yeah, yeah, but you're not.
Show off. You're
Come
showing
on,
off.
man. Like, okay, yeah, it sounds like a Euro scratch. I
Calm
get it.
down.
Okay, cool. But really, are you really doing anything? Like,
Uh,
but so
right.
I was really surprised how many more DJs actually preferred the single side cut to the double cut. So I took that into consideration, and plus, like I said, I was kind of pressed for space, so that's kind of why I made it a single sided cut.
Yeah. No, that's what's up because I think I eventually started to realize like okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I prefer it this way. Um, I mean, like, well, with the other faders that had the double cut, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's cool, whatever, nice little trick. But and I mean, it's
Right.
like I
Right.
didn't really use it as much, like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm right-handed, so I'm like, okay,
Right.
let's just stay on this side, like, what's the point of trying to be
Yeah, right,
all
exactly. And,
overly
and then
fancy
the
and
other thing
shit,
too that I think a lot of people kind of with the pulse fader, they're like, oh, it's got a really short throw. It's got a really short throw, and I'm so used to a full size fader. So I'm like, okay, well, okay, I
Yeah,
get that, but
yeah,
first off,
yeah,
it's a portable turntable, so you don't need a full size fader on it. And
yeah.
secondly,
No, no, no,
when you're
not really.
scratching, when do you actually kick the fader all the way to the other side when you're scratching? Like, you know what I mean? Like you only use so much of that fader space when you're cutting. You know what I mean? So
Right,
the shorter
right,
throw actually trains your hands to be more precise on a full size fader. So it
right.
definitely
Yeah,
it like I said, it trains your fader hand to be a little more, like I said, precise on your cut. So it's definitely helped me out. I mean, tremendously. Yeah. So
yeah. Shorter distance. Kind of
yeah,
keep
exactly. Like I
within the
was I
pocket,
was
I guess.
explaining it to one of my buddies,
Yeah.
and he's not even a DJ, man, and he goes, no, no, no. He's actually in the Air Force. He works on the mechanical side for like jets and stuff. He goes, no, I get it. He's like, it's like piloting an F-16 and piloting a commercial airline plane. Which one is going to be more? You're going to be able to make
Hmm.
faster cuts in an F-16 than you are on a big Boeing plane. You know what I mean? So I was like, dude,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a super great analogy. I didn't even think about it
yeah,
that way. I was like,
yeah.
okay,
No, it
cool.
is.
But
It
yeah,
is.
no. So that's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of the reason why I designed it that way. And then as far as it lighting up, that was just kind of like a cool little feature that I was like, oh, it lights up. That's kind of cool. Hey,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't
So
even know
yeah,
about
I
that.
mean, and that's the
That's what's
reason why I call it the
up.
pulse, because the little light flickers on and off when you're scratching on it. So
Ah, I see.
yeah.
I
So
see.
basically, what I what
Nice.
I originally started using that for was almost like a timing option for new students when they're coming in. So it's like, okay, if you want to do a 2-click, then you need to see that light flicker on and off twice, or 3-click, or if so you can actually use that as a
Okay.
visual aid as well. So when you're,
Yeah.
you get your timing
Yeah.
down. So
Okay.
it's not just by touch and by hearing. Now you also have the visual as well. So it kind of helps out with that visual too.
See, y'all, he's a mad scientist. This guy is not joking.
Yeah.
He's a mad scientist with this
So
shit. So,
yeah, like,
man,
and people ask me like, well, why
that's
did you
what's
call
up.
it 124C? So if you think about it, so
Yeah, what was
okay,
behind
one
that?
two
Yeah,
four
that was
C.
interesting. Yeah.
If you think about it as 124C, it's like, so 124C the future, 124C. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, 124C. Yeah.
Ah,
So
wow. He's not only a scientist; he's a
yeah,
philosopher.
no, yeah. One of my buddies was like,
Oh
"Yo,
my
I read a
god.
book, and there's a robot in the book, and his name is 124C." And he's like, so I was like, "Oh shit, that is dope." He's like, "That's what you should use, bro. Use that 124C." I was like, "Yo, that is cool, man." I was like, because I was just gonna call it CJ Scratch, but I was like, you know what, yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm
Let me
just gonna call
trademark
CJ
that.
Scratch. I just call my name. But I think calling it 124C, it takes me out of the picture, because I don't want to be the main focal point, because like I said, it wasn't just my child. You know what I mean? Like, I had help. So when
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
talk about
yeah,
124C, I
yeah,
talk about it as a group. It's not just me. I'm not the guy that, you know what I
yeah.
mean. Like, it's not CJ Scratch presents. You know what I mean? Like, 124C
Yeah.
it's a group of DJs that got together and helped me. A group of really close friends. So yeah. So that's
Yeah. That was able to produce
right, exactly.
something
And
something
that
good
was the main
and
goal. My
special. Yeah.
my goal wasn't to get rich off of this. My goal wasn't to be like, oh, I'm gonna make so much money off of this
Right.
thing. Like, nah, my goal was to, I just wanted to contribute something to the culture that's contributed so much to me. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to give something back.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it was a cool idea. So I was like, I gotta get this into other people's
Yeah.
hands. Like, that's basically what I was saying. Like, um, like, everything was like, literally, dude, everything was funded by me. I literally had to go out. I had to
Yeah.
put my credit on the line, like everything, just to get this made. But I had such a, um, I knew it was gonna be uh something that the culture would like. So I was like, you know what, man, screw it. I'm gonna jump in on it, and I'm gonna go all in, and I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah. I and yeah, no, we definitely embraced it. So salute to you on that project. I mean, like I haven't gotten one yet. I've been meaning to get
Well,
one.
hit, hit,
So
hit me up. Hit me up
hopefully,
after this
because I really
podcast. We'll see what we
recently
can do for you.
huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, no, I recently got back my
nice,
my PT-01
cool,
scratch and it's up and running. I had a little bit of an issue with it prior to that.
cool.
I had a couple of the homies help me out with it. Um so yeah, no, definitely it's to see something that you guys worked on and to have the scratch community embrace it
Yeah,
that's
that
has
that
to be
that's
a
that's
rewarding
basically all I
feeling.
wanted, man. Like, I mean,
I,
it's cool. It's cool to see um all of the orders that are coming in, man. Like, I'm getting orders from places all over the globe, like places I've never even heard of, bro. Like, it's unreal, man. I'm like, what? That place exists? Like, wow, I never even knew that place existed. Which is also like, it's amazing to see that,
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
like, wow, portableism is spread out that vastly, that wide. Like, it's a global thing now. Like, that's amazing, man. So
yeah. It not it is. It's definitely it's. I mean, who would have thought like 5 years ago, within that amount of time to see something kind of grow and then not only grow
right,
within but
yeah,
like all over the place, international, like like that it's crazy. And it kind of yeah, it kind of brought back
mm-hmm,
a life
yeah,
into DJing again. And so
cool,
okay, man,
yeah, for sure.
we'll probably wrap it up in a few here. But I wanted I wanted your take on the whole headache sound Omni portable turntable, because I'm about to get one of that right there. Like that might be that I believe that might be a game changer, but um
Yeah.
but I'm really thinking about getting that one. What's your
You
thought
know
on
what,
it?
man?
Did you
I
mess
haven't
with
had
it?
a
Did you try
chance
it
to play
out?
around on it, but
Um
like I said, dude, I'm a nerd, bro. I want one too. I want one too. I do. I want one. I'm
yeah,
like,
man.
yeah, that thing looks cool as hell.
Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has everything, right? You probably, I think
Yeah.
Swift Style ended up doing a tutorial on it. It's like, you know what, you probably don't even need to mod it, but just
Yeah.
because a lot of
Oh, of
people like
course.
to
Yeah.
mod stuff,
There's a
they're
lot
probably
there's a
gonna
lot of
do it
mad scientists
anyway.
out there that want to Frankenstein their stuff for sure. So, but
Yeah, but the thing that I like, the reason why I take interest in that one, because
mm-hmm.
it seems like everything's there,
Yep.
a solid platter, a solid fader. Obviously,
Right.
speaker. I don't believe it's an issue. I it has some Bluetooth
I believe it does, and
capabilities.
I believe it
Correct me
also
if
does
I'm wrong.
DVS. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and so like just like right off the bat, like I if I was gonna buy that,
Right.
I want to open it and then
Yep.
boom, just use it right away and ready to
Yep.
go. Like I don't want to have to like do any mods unless I if like like I said, if you have to, but right out the box, boom, use it
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
then
and
that's it. I don't want to tinker
like,
with
yeah,
anything.
shout out to them, man. And then, like I said, that's another one of those independent companies that came out. And in fact, I think from what I've heard, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I heard it's a husband and wife that kind of just got together and were like, hey, let's do this, and we'll build this portable turntable. And they were paying attention to what the DJs wanted, and they put out that Omni turntable. And I mean, it's cool, man. I mean, it's definitely different, and it's given all of the features that
Yeah,
I can see that most DJs would want in a portable. And like I said, I'd like to get my hands on one too, man, because
right.
they look cool as hell, man. Like, definitely look cool.
yeah. Do you know how
You
much
know what, dude?
that
I
thing
have no
weighs
idea, man. I have no
by
idea how
chance?
much it weighs. I've had a couple of buddies
Just a little curious
um,
on that. Yeah.
say that they played around on them, and they said that they like the faders on them for sure. They're built, pretty well. So, I mean, until I can
Hmm.
actually get my hands on it, I really don't know. But yeah, I would definitely love to, and I'd definitely love to get one.
yeah. Hell yeah, man. Well, all right, man. You know what? I usually ask
Sure.
my guests 3 questions at the end of the show. Um, you can even answer one or two, or you can skip it. It's well, because I do, because
Sure.
DJing was
Oh,
my first
nice.
passion, and I do a stand up comedy now. So yeah, yeah,
Oh,
and I
damn.
don't know if you
Okay.
know, but I'm visually impaired, so I yeah, man, and yeah, no, I'm a big fan of DJ, man. Like oh my
Nice.
god, like it's me and my boys, we talk about it all the time and stuff, and like I said, to see you do your thing and your work, I salute you, and I appreciate what you've done for the
Yeah.
culture, and
Same here.
I'm just a fan of this whole thing. And then the
Nice.
last couple years I've been doing stand up, and that kind of gave me the second win. um it's almost like DJing too,
Yeah, in front of a crowd,
it's
man. It's yeah, exactly.
performing on stage kind of thing.
Yep.
um yeah, and so when every time I have a guest, I'll ask them these 3 questions. So the first one is aliens or Bigfoot. The second question is, if you weren't DJing, what would you be doing?
Okay.
Besides what you're doing now. And the third one is, what is your go-to food? Just because of this whole zombie apocalypse thing going on, like if you had to survive for a
Okay.
month, like what would your go-to
Sure.
food be?
So,
So you
um,
can answer all
I'm
three,
I'm
one,
a,
or
I'm a
skip
I'm a
it.
geek
Yeah,
when it comes to stuff like that. Like I grew up watching all the shows, like me and my brother and my dad,
Eh,
about the Loch Ness monsters and
yeah,
the
yeah,
aliens and the Bigfoots and stuff. So for me, definitely
yeah,
aliens. There's definitely some smarter life forms out there. I mean, it would be kind of uh, uh, arrogant that we're alone, out here in this big old vast universe. Um, yeah. As as far
yeah, yeah.
as
That's
let's
what's up.
see, what was the second question? Oh, right.
If you weren't
So
DJing, what would your other
definitely
interest
it would
be?
be
If
teaching for sure. I I grew up I grew up doing martial arts. I've been certified in Filipino martial arts. So yeah. Oh
nice,
yeah.
what? No way. Is Screamer? So
I'm
what's
definitely
your
not Asian, but I
nationality?
should have been.
If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, I even have an Asian first name. So my first name is Shan. It's Chan. So I should
Yeah,
have been Asian. So yeah, I would definitely be teaching,
yeah.
coaching. I love coaching. I love coaching kids. Stuff like that. So um, yeah, so I'd be doing that. And then as far as my go-to
Awesome,
foods,
awesome, man.
uh,
That's dope.
my go-to food
Go
would
to
probably be some
food.
type of vegetables. I'm super health conscious, so so yeah. So
Hmm.
I definitely
Hey, no,
I
it's all
believe
good,
in
man. All gravy.
you get in what you put out. So um, so as far as like with vegetables, I try to eat as healthy as possible.
Vegetables.
I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Yeah,
Don't do none of that stuff. No drugs. No nothing like that. So
yeah.
I try to live as healthy as possible. Just because. Yeah.
There you go, y'all. There you. Watch out, y'all. If
Dude,
you got
I'll
vegetables
be
in your
I'll be worse
backyard,
than I'll be
CJ's
worse
gonna
than a
come
pack
through
of
there and
rabbits,
like.
bro. I'll be taking all your carrots.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's gonna
I'll take it all. The cabbage, everything, man. I'll take it all.
eggplants, cabbage. Oh man, that's what's up, bro. Where can they
So
find you? And
I'm super
contact
easy to get a
you.
hold of now. If you want
Online.
to check out the products on the website, it's 124c.org. So yeah, just the number one, number two, number four, and then the letter C
Mm-hmm.
.org. And then as far as if they want to get a hold of me, man, it's as easy as hit me up on Facebook Messenger or even on YouTube. Everything is CJ Scratch. You'll find me. Even on
Yep.
what's the other one that Instagram. I really rarely get on Instagram, but it's like I think it's CJ Scratch
Mm-hmm.
one
Yeah, yeah,
_1 or something like that. Is so I'm super easy to get
yeah.
a hold of. If people want to get, I answer
There you
questions
go.
almost daily with people that have questions on as far as like, hey man, my portable turntable don't turn on. What's wrong with it? Or hey man, I got, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
like I said, man, I'm here. I'm here to help people out. If they have questions, I try to help out as many people as I can, and I try to get back to people as much as possible. So yeah,
There
super
you
easy to get a
go.
hold of,
There
man.
you
So
go. Yeah, go holla at him, support his product, his
yeah,
new fader 124C, the pulse fader. Yeah, hit him up. Follow him on the different social media, and with my stuff, check out Where's My Damn Podcast. This is gonna be uploaded on YouTube, but it's also gonna be available on
nice.
the various streaming platforms, so
Yeah.
people can check
Yeah,
the
dude,
the
and
the
yeah,
episode out
not to cut you off or nothing, but
on
hey, man,
there.
thanks
And
for having me,
yeah,
man, and I definitely
yeah.
um definitely support everything that you're doing as well. Like this is just another another piece of that community, so if we can help each other out, man, and that's what I'm all about. So
Oh hell yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate you for coming on, spending time with me. This is awesome, man. Like my God, like I think we passed the limit,
oh,
but
dude, I'm such a
we
geek
I
on this
mean we
stuff,
could
man.
have
I could
gone
talk
on
about this
for a
for
while,
hours,
but
man. So yeah, dude, I'm down for sure,
yeah,
for
we,
sure.
we we may have to do a part two one of these days. So who knows? Yeah, like I said, I appreciate you. Salute on your project.
Thank you, man.
Congrats on that and your success.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, thank you for being on. And yeah, like I said, follow me, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the podcast. Where's my damn podcast, y'all? Yeah, come on, man. So support me. So support
Yeah,
CJ.
yeah.
All right.
Damn
Go
it, and
go go to
have a
go
damn good
do the
Christmas,
damn
damn
thing.
it.
So yeah, there you go. On that note, thank you
Peace.
for listening, and we are out. Peace.